पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारश्च तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नमः श्री शङ्करानन्द गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे। From verse 153 we chant. या बुद्धिवासनास्तासु चैतन्यं प्रतिबिम्बते मेघाकाशवदस्पष्ट चिदाभासोऽनुमीयताम् साभासमेव तद्बीजम् धीरूपेण प्ररोहते। अतो बुद्धौ चिदाभासः विस्पष्टं प्रतिभासते। मायाभासेन जीवेशो करोतीति श्रुतौ श्रुतम्। मेघाकाशजलाकाशौ इव तौ सव्यवस्थितौ। मेघवद्वर्तते माया मेघस्थिततुषारवत्। धीवासनाश्चिदाभासः तुषारस्थखवस्थितः। मायाधीनश्चिदाभासः श्रुतौ मायी महेश्वरः। अन्तर्यामी च सर्वज्ञः जगद्योनिः स एव हि। There is this Maya which is the cause of the creation. Where is it experienced? It is experienced in deep sleep. Because in deep sleep there is a seed for the whole creation. There is a blanket of ignorance which has the seed of the whole creation. तस्मात् अशेष जगतः वासनाः तत्र संस्थिताः. There the vasanas means the samskaras, the potential of the entire creation is there in deep sleep, because from there arises the waking and the dream world. So cause must contain in potential form the effect. And therefore, in the deep sleep there is ignorance. Also there is what we call the buddhi in the subtle form or in the potential form. Buddhi vasana. Vasana means the causal form. So in the waking state, the buddhi manifests in the form of various thoughts. In the dream state also it manifests in the form of various thoughts. And the dream and the waking arise from the deep sleep. And therefore in the deep sleep, the very same thoughts, the buddhi, must be in the form of vasana or potential. And therefore, now wherever buddhi is, there must be the reflection of consciousness. Because we find that in the waking and the dream state, when the thoughts are there, then the consciousness is always reflected. And therefore, in the deep sleep also, where the buddhi is in potential form, in unmanifest form, there also the reflection of consciousness must be. It's a matter of inference. Just as we say that there is water in a spot where the sun is reflected. And so we would say that in the clouds where there are particles of water, because the rain falls from the cloud, and so all that water must be there in the cloud in the form of particles of water. And wherever water is, sun must be reflected, all the space must be reflected, sky, and so therefore in the cloud also the sky must be reflected. So what is the effect? What we find in the effect can be inferred to be present in the cause. Effect is water and the cloud is the cause. So reflection is there in the effect, it must be there in the cause also. And similarly also we find in our thoughts, the consciousness is reflected, and therefore we say that in the deep sleep also where this buddhi is in the potential form, there also the consciousness must be reflected. And therefore we have in the deep sleep state the potential of the entire buddhi with the reflection of consciousness, meaning the Ishvara there. Who is Ishvara? Ishvara is the consciousness or Atma reflected in Maya. And what is Maya? Maya is nothing but the cause of the entire creation. And what is the nature of cause? The potential, the entire creation in the potential form. Meaning all the buddhi, etc. in the potential form, the vasana form, the form of samskara. And therefore, what we find in deep sleep really is the total vasanas of the buddhi with reflected consciousness. And therefore, we have what we in the deep sleep, what we have is what we call Ishvara. So, Mayadhinas Chidabhasah Shrutau Mayi Maheshwarah Antaryami cha Sarvajnah Jagad Sayevahi. And for this Chidabhasah, or the reflected consciousness that is the consciousness that is reflected in Maya, alone is called Mayi in the Shruti. Mayam tu Prakritim Vidyat, Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. So Prakriti, meaning cause, is Maya, and the one who is reflected in Maya is called Mayi or the Maheshwara. And he alone is referred to as Antaryami, the indweller, Sarvajnaha, the omniscient, Jagat the cause of the creation. And so what obtains? The consciousness reflected in Maya alone is Ishvara. And now, here the teacher proceeds to show the identity between Jiva and Ishvara in this sense, that in the deep sleep state, now if you remember the Mandukya Upanishad, in the 5th mantra the Upanishad describes that Prajna Yatra supto na kanchana kamam kamayade na kanchana swapnam pashyade tat sushuptam. First define the sushupti, meaning the deep sleep state where there is an absence of dream as well as desire. Desires are in the waking state, so that is not there. Dreams are in the dream state, that is also not there, and that state is called sushupti. Sushupta sthanaha eki bhutaha prajnana ghanaha. So prajnanagana or anandamaya, anandamaya hi anandabhuk, cheto mukha, prajna tritiya padaha. So that mantra describes prajna means a deep sleeper, who is prajnana ghana, where all the knowledge is, there is a mass of knowledge. In the waking and dream state, the knowledge knowledge appears in the particular form of different vrittis of thoughts. But in the deep sleep state, all those thoughts are in a potential form, and therefore we say that it's mass of knowledge. And then, thus having described this prajna, the deep sleeper, the next mantra says, Esha sarveshvara, Esha sarvajnaha, Esham taryami, Esha yonihi. So, sarvasya prabhavapyahi bhutanam. This prajna is sarveshvara, is the Lord of all. Esha sarvajnaha, that prajna is the omniscient. Esham taryami, he is the indwelling self. Esha yonis sarvasya, he is the yoni, the cause of everything. Prabhavapyahi bhutanam, because he is the prabhava, the origin, as well as apya, the state of dissolution of all the beings. So there, without really trying to explain, Shruti directly says that prajna alone is Ishvara. And thereby is revealed the identity between prajna and Ishvara, Jiva and Ishvara. And the same idea is taken here and now explained. Because there the Upanishad doesn't explain those things. This text here takes that idea of prajna, meaning the one who is in deep sleep. So Jiva, the consciousness that is under the blanket of ignorance. In a deep sleep there is blanket of ignorance, at the same time there is potential of all the waking and the dream states. And therefore, in the deep sleep obtains that situation of ignorance as well as the entire buddhi in the potential form. And therefore, the one reflected there is called prajna, but the one reflected there is also called Ishvara, because there is no difference between the prajna and Ishvara. And this is idea now that is being expounded in the subsequent verses. Says now in the introduction of verse 158, Nanu dhivasana pratibimbasya ishvaratvadikam katham shrutisiddham iti. Question is, dhivasana pratibimbasya ishvarat, the one, the consciousness that is reflected in the dhivasana, the consciousness that is reflected in the potential buddhi, tasya ishvaratvadikam katham shrutisiddham. How do you say that the one who is reflected in the buddhi, vasanas, in the deep sleep state, that he is Ishvara, he is Sarvajnaha, omniscient? How do you say that it is Siddham? How is it established by the Shruti? Iti asankya tad upadikam Shrutim darshayati. First of all, the teacher shows here the Shruti, which conveys this idea, or which reveals this idea that the one who is reflected in the deep sleep is nothing but Ishvara. And that's being said in the verse 58. Saushuptamanandamayam prakramyaivam shrutirjagau esha sarveshvara iti soyam vedokta ishvaraha. Saushuptam anandamayam prakramya evam shruti jagau. Prakramya meaning starting it or introducing. Saushuptam anandamayam, as you just saw in the Mandukya Upanishad, first the fifth mantra talks about the prajna. Is anandamaya acheto mukha. So anandabhuk anandamaya cheto mukha. Prajnana ghana prajna. So thus, Saushupta alone, meaning the deep sleeper alone, is Anandamaya. Because all there is in deep sleep is Ananda, meaning freedom from all the suffering. The waking and dream states, where there is an identification of the gross and the subtle body, always creates the sense of limitation which itself is suffering. And this sense of limitation itself being absent in deep sleep, therefore, there is a total relief that alone is called Ananda there. So Anandamaya is the one who experiences the Ananda. Saushuptam, the one who is sleeping, meaning not identified with the gross and the subtle bodies. Prakramya, having talked about that, Shruti evam jadau, then the Shruti says thus, Esha Sarveshwarahadi, immediately for it, Prajna or Anandamaya itself, Shruti says, Esha Sarveshwaraha. Esha means this. Now that's the pronoun etad, the first case, nominative case, and that is used for someone who is talked about. So the only previous reference is to the prajna, the deep sleeper. And then right away Shruti says, Esha Sarveshwaraha, Esha Sarvagnaha. Therefore, it is the same one who has been just referred to in the earlier mantra, meaning the prajna. So prajna is Sarveshwaraha, prajna is Sarvagnaha. Esha Sarveshwara, as a footnote says, Esha Sarveshwara, Esha Bhutadipati. Well, he quotes from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. There also a similar line of thinking is there. So Esha Sarveshwara, Esha Bhutadipati, Esha Bhutapalaha. But better than that is the mantra of Mandukya, which says Esha Sarveshwara, Esha Sarvagnaha, Esha Antaryami, Esha Yonis Sarvasya, Prabhavapyavi Bhutanam. So सुषुप्त स्थान एकीभूत है प्रज्ञान घन एवं इत्यादि का श्रुति वह इसे नृसिंह पूर्व तापनीयोपनिषद और मांडुक्य उपनिषद ऑल्सो इज द सेम सुषुप्त स्थान एकीभूत है प्रज्ञान घन आनंदमन एव ही आनंदभुक इत्यादि का श्रुति जीवासना प्रतिबिंब रूपस्य आनंदमयस्य ईश्वरत्वादिकं प्रतिपादयति इत्यर्थः. So that Shruti says that Anandamaya who is Jivasana Pratibimba Rupasya, the one who is reflected in the Jivasana, meaning Prajnana Gana. So the consciousness that is reflected in the Jivasanas, in the deep sleep state, he who is Anandamaya, he alone is Sarveshwara, he alone is Sarvagnya, Ityadikam Pratipadayati. So Shruti in fact teaches us that he alone is Ishvara. So this is a Pramanam. When you say that Jiva and Ishvara, both of them are the concepts created by the Maya, and the only difference there is in the Upadi, there is no other difference, and this identity between them is in fact what is revealed by the Shruti herself. Because one is Karyopadhi, other is Karanopadhi. Jiva is called Karyopadhi, meaning identified with Karyopadhi, the individual ignorance. And Ishvara is called Karanopadhi, meaning manifesting through the Karanopadhi, which is Maya. However, when you wake up, then alone the Karyopadhi is there. See, the waker is the one who is identified with Karyopadhi. But when I am in deep sleep, at that time the distinction between the individual Karanam and the total Karanam is not there. And therefore in deep sleep, I am Karanopadhi, because deep sleep is the causal state. And therefore one who obtains there is in fact identical to Ishvara. Says Nanu Anandamaya Sarvajñattvadikam Anubhava Viruddham iti ashankya hai. He says, it is not our experience that Anandamaya, meaning the deep sleeper, he is Sarvajña, Sarveshwara, that he is omniscient, omnipotent, etc. This is not our experience. It is not my experience that the one who is Anandamaya, the deep sleeper, is in fact the Lord and omniscient. Anubhava Viruddham, that definitely contradicts my experience. So how do you say? Iti ashankyaha. If someone says that, then the first reply is given in the verse 159. Sarvajñattvadiketasya naiva vipratipadyata Shrautarthasya vitarkyatvad Mayayam sarvasambhavad. He says, Tasya sarvajñattvadike naiva vipratipadyata. First, rather dogmatic answer. Suppose somebody says, I don't experience that the deep sleeper Anandamaya is Sarvajnaha, Sarveshwaraha. Then first, a very dogmatic answer is given. He says, Tasya Sarvajnatvadike, that is, Parajna is Sarvajna, omniscient, omnipotent, etc. No avit pratipadyatam. That should not be questioned. That should not be contradicted or questioned at all. Kutaha iti. Why do you say that I should not question it or I should not doubt it? Because Shrautadi Shrautarthasya avitarkyatvat. Because Shrautartha, Shrautartha means that artha, the purport that is expounded by the Shruti, avitarkyatvat, is not available for vitarka or available for any doubt. So what the Shruti says is beyond doubt. So this is accepting the Shruti as Pramanam. And so we accept Shruti or the Upanishad as Pramanam. In other words, we do not question the statement of the Shruti. We take it what it is. So since what Shruti says is Pramanam, when it comes to revealing the nature of Brahman, nature of Jiva, nature of Ishvara, nature of Jagat, all these are the things which are beyond perception, beyond our experience, and therefore there Shruti alone is a Pramanam. If we are talking about something which is within our range of perception, and if Shruti contradicts that, well then we will have to question that. Which we do. Sometimes Shruti also makes statements which seem to go against our experience, in which case those statements have to be interpreted in a different way, as we shall see. And Shankaracharya himself says in one place that even if 1,000 Shruti says that fire is cold, we cannot accept it. But when it comes to matters which are beyond perception, that Shruti alone is Pramanam. And Shruti says that this Prajna alone is Sarveshwara, Sarvajnaha, and therefore that should not be questioned. Because Shruti is beyond questioning or beyond doubt. It is what we call Nirdosha Pramanam. The intellect of a human being is inflicted by so many doshas or defects. Ignorance, ajnanam, samshaya, viparyaha, viparya means opposite knowledge, vipralambha, the cheating, feeling that okay, I know everything, apatatva karanam, and maybe the perception, these organs of perception also are not competent. So incompetence and cheating or deceit, etc., they are all the different difficulties or defects on the individual buddhi. But Vedas are not the product of a human mind, and therefore whatever they reveal is taken to be nirdosham and beyond question. And therefore Shrautarthasya avitarkyatvat. Since the Shrautartha, meaning that artha which is pratipadita, meaning revealed by the Shruti, is beyond doubt, and therefore you should not question the statement of the Shruti that Prajna alone is Sarveshwaraha, Sarvajnaha. Itopi na vipratipatti karya. There is yet another reason why also you should not question this or should not have doubt. Why? Mayayam iti mayayam sarvasambhavat. In Maya, everything is possible. So that's another way. So another reason that is given is that everything is possible. In Maya can make the Prajna equal to Ishvara. Anything is possible for Maya, and therefore you should not question what the Shruti says. So what the Shruti says may not be comprehensible to your intellect, and that does not mean that it should be questioned or doubted. So this is what we call an orthodox or a dogmatic answer, which nobody is going to accept anyway, but then this is the dogmatic answer. Immediately we ask the question, Nanu anukula yuktiya bhave shruti api grava plavakyat arthavadasya. Question, anukula tarka bhave. If the statement of Shruti is not corroborated by a suitable logic, that's called anukula tarka. It is not that any tarka or any logic will necessarily go along with Shruti, but definitely there is a line of reasoning which is called anukula tarka, which is supporting logic. Anukula tarka abhave, in absence of supporting logic, Shruti hi api grava plavakyat arthavadasya. Even a Shruti statement also will have to be taken as arthavada. What is arthavada? Arthavada is that which does not have pramanam, swartha pramanam. So Arthavada means Stuti or Ninda, and that does not have the Pramanyam in the Swartha. So it doesn't have the Swartha Tatparyam. So Arthavada does not have Tatparya or purport in its own direct meaning. It is purport in something else. So very often, in order to emphasize Vidhi, that you must do this, very often what is to be enjoined is praised by the Shruti, and what is prohibited, Nisheda, is something that is condemned by the Shruti. So this method also is employed by the Shruti. And these passages are called Arthavada because they do not mean exactly what they say, but they mean something else. For example, look at the footnote number 2. Gravana, there is a printing mistake there, it should be Gravana, not Gravana Plavante, but Gravana Plavante, ityadi vakyavat. So Gravana means stones. Stones float, they say, So there is a statement in Shruti which says, stones float. Now if you insist that whatever Shruti says has to be taken literally, as you just insisted, then this also will take literally, the stones float. And that is not supported by logic. That the stones float is not supported by supporting logic. And therefore, are you trying to tell us that all such statements should be accepted literally? He says, no, this kind of statement should be called Arthavada. Says, Arthavado nama Ninda Stuti Bodhaka Vachanam. Arthavada is a statement which is Ninda Bodhakam or Stuti Bodhakam. This is Tatparya Bodhakam. So, Arthavada does not in fact teach us the Tatparya, however, it only reveals the Stuti or Ninda, either extolling something or condemning something. Such a Dvidha and Arthavada also is twofold. Bhutarthavada, Abhutarthavada Bhedat. Bhutarthavada means Bhutartha, that which actually happened. Sometimes Stuti or extolling is in the form of something that has actually happened, or something that can happen. Abhutarthavada, something that is not possible to happen. Stuti vachanam bhutarthavada yatha vajri indraha. So indraha vajri, vajram asya asti vajri. So Indra is the one who wields the thunderbolt. Now that is also a stuti of Indra. But then it is called Arthavada because in that particular place there is no intention of conveying this idea, but then there is stuti of Indra because you want to convey some other idea. Usually they always praise yaga. So there are statements that Prajapatihi Vapam Udakhivat, that is Prajapati of Brahmaji pulled out his fat from his thighs. So why should he say this? Because this is in reference to a particular yaga, a particular ritual. And that is so great and the result is so exalted that Prajapati is willing to even undergo the pain of pulling his own fat in order to perform that yaga. So that is nothing but a praise of that yaga. The Tatparya is not in telling us that Prajapati pulled his fat. The Tatparya is in praising that yaga. And therefore, it serves the purpose of what we call Vidhi or enjoyment. And Nisheda is just the opposite of it. So Nisheda, the Ninda is for Nisheda. Ninda is done if you want to prohibit something. And Stuti is done if you want to enjoy or motivate a person. Then, Pashana Rupa Navhuti Idam Vakyam Yathartha Ayathartha Bodhagatvat Abhutarthavada Heti Bhavaha. However, such a statement as Pashana Rupa Navhu, a boat of the nature of stone, a boat made up of stone. Now that is Abhutarthavada. So that also is called Arthavada. That they say that by the name of Rama, even these stones also float, so they say. And that's a story in Ramayana. That all the big rocks and mountains also started floating in water when they wrote the name Rama, Rama, Rama. So by Rama Nama, even these stones also float. So that is the intention there may or may not be in floating of the stones, but in glorification of the Ramana. And so, therefore, there are many statements in this Shruti which do not have Tatparya or the purport in the literal sense, but which convey the importance of something else. And therefore, maybe when the Shruti says, this Prajna or the deep sleeper is Sarveshwara, Sarvajna, he is a great Lord, he is omniscient, etc. Maybe the intention there is in the form of Arthavada, meaning the Tatparya is not in its own statement, however, maybe it wants to convey something else. So you have to say, it is necessary also to categorize a particular statement as Pramana Vakyam or Mukhya Vakyam. There are many Avantara Vakyas where the Tatparya is not in their own state, own self, but then Tatparya is to convey something else. So maybe this statement of the Shruti, Esha Sarveshwara, Esha Sarvajna, has the intention of conveying something other than what it literally means. Why can it not be Arthavada? So, it says, if you cannot provide Anukula Targa or supporting logic, then that Vakya, which says that Prajna is Sarveshwara Sarvajna, will have to be taken as Arthavada. It ashankya, Shruti Pramanya Siddhe Sarveshwarattvadikam Upaparayati. Shruti Pramanya Siddhe. To establish the Shruti Pramanyam. The Shruti is Pramanam, meaning that that particular statement is something that reveals the truth and is not Arthavada, is not Stuti or Ninda. Sarveshwarattvadikam Upaparayati. Upaparayati, Upapatti means logic or the reasoning. So here he gives the reasoning to show how what the Shruti says, namely Sarveshwaratvam, Sarvajnatvam, is reasonable. And so supporting logic is given in subsequent verses. Says the verse 160. Ayam yat srijate vishvam tadanyathaitum puman न कोऽपि शक्तस्तेनायम् सर्वेश्वर इति ऋतः. अयम मीनिंग आनंदमय है, यत मीनिंग जागरादि विश्वम सृजते शुभि सृजति तत् न केनापि अन्यथाइतुम मीनिंग अन्यथा कर्तुम शक्यते. So okay, now we talk of how is Ishvara, this deep sleeper, the Prajna is in fact Ishvara. Why? Because this Prajna alone creates the dream world and the waking world. He is called Cheto Mukha in Mandukya Upanishad. The Chetas means consciousness. He is the door of consciousness. Because the consciousness in the form of waking and dream, all of them enter into Prajna. Or the consciousness in the form of waking and dream emerge from Prajna. So Prajna is said to be the door of consciousness. And so he creates in fact the waking and the dream worlds. And can anybody change that? This Anandamaya means Prajna. Yet Jagravadi Vishwam Srijati, that Jagrat Swapna, all this world that is created by this Prajna or Anandamaya, tat अन्यथैतुम पुमान न कोपि शक्तः तन्न केनापि अन्यथा कर्तुम शक्यते. No man can change it or no man can undo it. Anyatha karta means no one can undo what has been done by Prajna. This waking world you cannot undo. The dream world you cannot undo. That shows that nobody has the ability to undo what Prajna has done, and therefore he is the able one, he is the Ishvara, he is the Lord. Atahayam Sarveshwara ityartha. And therefore he should be called Sarveshwara. Ishvara means ruler. So one against whom nobody can go. And whatever he has done, no one can undo. And therefore we have to accept him to be Ishvara. Now, Sarveshwara, Sarvajna, Eshauntaryami, for all of these, logic is being provided. Idanim Sarvajnatvam Upapadayati. Now, shows here the yukti or the reason for Sarvajnatvam, how that Anandamaya is omniscient. says verse 161. Ashesha prani buddhina vasanas tatra samstitaha tabih krodikritam sarvam tena sarvajña iritaha. अशेष प्राण बुद्धिना वासना तत्र संस्थिताः. Tatra meaning sushupte ajnane, in the ignorance which obtains in the deep sleep state. And what is that ignorance is called? Causal body. So karana bhute. And deep sleep what obtains is the blanket of ignorance, which is a cause for the waking in the dream state. And therefore it is called causal body. So in the deep sleep, that ignorance, blanket of ignorance that obtains, which is the nature of karana or the cause. In that cause, karya bhutanam sarva prana buddhinam vasanaha samsthitaha nivasanti. All the vasanas are there, which become the source, vasana is the impressions, which become ultimately the material for the waking in the dream worlds. So the waking and dream worlds, since they arise from the deep sleep, obviously deep sleep must contain the potential form the entire waking and dream worlds. Then we say that all the potential, the vasanas of the entire waking and dream are present in the deep sleep state. And vasanas of whom? Vasanas of all the jivas are there. Because the deep sleep of one is not different from the deep sleep of another one. The waker I is different from the waker you. The dreamer I is different from the dreamer you. But the sleeper I is not different from the sleeper you. Because the deep sleep of a king is the same as the deep sleep of a beggar. In deep sleep, everyone is one alone. Because there is no Vishesha Jnanam there. What we have is unqualified consciousness. In the deep sleep, an unqualified ignorance. Ignorance being unqualified and one, we say that in the deep sleep is a state where the vasanas of all the buddhis, of all the pranis are to be found there because it's a causal state. Only when it becomes karya, then alone the differentiation comes. In the karanam, there is no differentiation at all. This is called avyakritam, undifferentiated. So when we wake up, then the differentiation is there. This is Devadatta, this is Yajnadatta, etc. But both all these fellows when they are sleeping, there is no differentiation at all. So in one deep sleep state, the vasanas of Devadatta, Yajnadatta, anybody and everybody are all there. And therefore, first statement is that all the vasanas of all the beings they are to be found or they abide in the deep sleep state, which is characterized by ignorance, which is of the nature of cause. The cause always is undifferentiated. It is the fact alone that is differentiated. Okay. Tavihi krodikritam sarvam. Tavischa vasanavihi. Sarvam jagat krodikritam, meaning vishayikritam. And it is from this vasana alone that the entire creation emerges. The entire my waking in the dream and your waking in dream and all of them emerge from that, the deep sleep state. And therefore the vasana that obtain a deep sleep state, from then alone emerges the entire creation. And therefore the prajna, who illumines all those vasanas, is in fact the knower of all of them. So prajna knows the deep sleep. Meaning he is the one who witnesses the ignorance. He is the one who experiences happiness. And therefore since that ignorance contains all the vasanas, automatically he also knows all of them. And therefore he knows the cause in its totality. The effect is all differentiated, but the cause is undifferentiated since it is known to prajna. Therefore we say that prajna is omniscient. Because the potential of the whole creation is there, and he knows the whole creation in the potential form. Tena sarvabuddhivasanavat ajñānopadikatvena sarvajña uchyate ityartha. He is called sarvajña. Why? Because that sarva, the whole creation is present in the deep sleep state. In what form? In the potential form. And Prajna is the one who has his ignorance, which is Sarvabuddhivasanavat Ajnanam. Ajnanam, which is possessed of all the vasanas of all the buddhis. And that being the upadhi of this consciousness, who is called Jiva, Anandamaya or Prajna, therefore he is Sarvajna. Sarvam Janati Sarvajna. And how does he know everything? He knows the cause, and therefore the effect, since they differentiate from the cause, he knows the whole effect also, and therefore he is said to be Sarvajna. Now that's a big statement, that I am omniscient when I am in deep sleep. Anandamaya. Nanu yadi sarvajnatvam asti tarhi tat kutah nanubhuvate. The question is, if you say that one is really omniscient, all-knowing in the deep sleep state, then how come it is not being experienced? Iti ashankya tadupadhinam vasananam parokshatvat na anubhavah. The answer is that all the upadhi in the form of vasana is what? Paroksha. Paroksha means in a subtle form. It is not pratyaksha, meaning not in a manifest form or a differentiated form. And therefore, you do not know that you are Sarvajna, because you are Sarvajna all right, but what you know is being in a potential form, and therefore you do not experience it. Because we call it an experience only when it becomes something very clearly perceived in our mind. And these vasanas cannot be perceived because they are in a potential form. And therefore, tadupadhinam vasananam parokshatvat. Since all these vasanas which form the upadhis of prajna, they are paroksha, meaning the subtle form, na anubhava. Therefore, there is no experience. Experience is there is no direct perception. Just as in deep sleep, I am supposed to be enjoying the ananda. I am supposed to be enjoying the unqualified happiness, but there is no knowledge of it. The happiness is there, but happiness is in paroksha form, meaning in a subtle form. And therefore, I do not have the experience at that time that I am the happy self. Even though I am experiencing, but the knowledge is not there. And similarly also, I know everything, I have the experience of everything there. Because everything is there in a potential form, but that clear knowledge is not there because there is an experience of everything in a potential form. And that's the answer that is given in the verse 62. Vasananam parokshatvad sarvajñatvam nahikṣyate sarvabuddhishu tadruštva vasanasvanumīyatam. Vasananam parokshatvat sarvajñatvam nahi ikshate. Since all the vasanas are paroksha, paroksha means aspashta, meaning unclear, in a potential form, not spashta, meaning not manifest form, they are unmanifest, and therefore sarvajñatvam nahi ikshate. Sarvajñatvam is there, but then it is not appreciated. So the omniscience is there in the deep sleep state, but it is not appreciated because the vasanas are in unmanifest state. Kasam tarhi tad avagamah iti. If it cannot be appreciated, then how do you say avagamah is knowledge? How do you say that this Anandamaya is omniscient? How do you say that? Iti ashankyaha sarvabuddhishu iti. Sarvabuddhishu tadruštva vasanasu anumīyatam. Says here, sarvabuddhinishtham sarvajñatvam स्वकारणभूत वासनागत सर्वज्ञत्व पुरस्सरं भवितुमर्हति कार्यनिष्ठ धर्म विशेषत्वात् पदगत रूपादिवत् इत्यर्थः. This is here anumano, the inference. What is sarvajñatvam, omniscience? Omniscience is the sum total of all the knowledge which is in all the buddhis. Alpajñatvam, meaning the limitation in knowledge is that which is known only in one intellect. But then all the knowledge that takes place in all the intellects, when added up together, makes up what we call omniscience or sarvajñatvam. So, Sarvajnatvam is sarva-buddhinishtham. The omniscience is that which obtains in all the buddhis or in all the intellects, because intellect is a knowing faculty. Now all these buddhis are, swa means buddhi, swakaranabhuta vasanagata sarvajnatva purassaram bhavitum arhati. The omniscience that we find in the buddhis are manifest. That same omniscience must also obtain in the buddhis in their unmanifest state also. For example, the properties that we find in a pot must also obtain in the clay when the pot is in a potential form. It is like saying that if all the pots are in the clay, how come you don't see them? If all the ornaments are in the gold, how come you don't see them? Because all the ornaments are there all right. Therefore when you see the gold, in fact you see all the ornaments. However, the ornaments being in an undifferentiated state, therefore you are not aware of the differentiation. Similarly also, when the buddhis are manifest, because nothing new can come out. Just as if the ornament exhibits some value in terms of shining or color, etc., well, that must also be there in the gold. And so, if the buddhis exhibit the omniscience must be there in the deep sleep state also, because all the buddhis are there in a form of vasana or potential. So, sarva-buddhinishtham sarvajnatvam swakaranabhuta vasanagada sarvajnatva purassaram bhavitum arhati. That buddhi karanabhuta vasana, all the vasanas which are the cause of the buddhi, that same sarvajnatvam must reside there also. Karyanishta dharma visheshatvat, because sarvajnatvam is karyanishta dharma. Karya is what? Buddhi. Sarvajnatvam omniscience is buddhinishta dharma. It is dharma, the characteristic of buddhi, which is the karya, the effect of the vasanas. And so the characteristic or attribute of the karya, effect, must be present in the cause. Dashtanta, patagata rupadivaditi. Rupa means color. That the color that a cloth has, that must be the color of the cotton. So what color will the cloth have? The same color that the cotton has. So the color that is inherited by the cloth is a color from the cotton. Meaning that the patagata rupam, or that color that obtains in the pata of the cloth, is definitely found in the karan, which is cotton or tantu. And similarly also, the omniscience that is found in all the buddhis must definitely be there in the causal state, in the vasanas. And therefore, one who limits that ignorance can on the sarvajnatvam. First was shown sarveshwaratvam, then sarvajnatvam. Sarvajnatvam upapadya eshantaryami iti shrutyuktam antaryamitvam upapadayati. So having shown by reason that this prajna or anandamaya is in fact sarvajna or omniscient, then the Shruti continues to say, eshantaryami, esha sarvajnaha, esha sarveshwaraha, esha sarvajnaha, eshantaryami. The next one. Iti shrutyuktam antaryamitvam upapadayati. It's not Chandogya but Brihadaranyaka Upanishad in fact, even though it says 3 Chandogya. So the Shruti says antaryami, and that antaryamitvam is now shown by reason that he is antaryami also. The same Anandamaya is antaryami. Says in the verse 163. Vijnanamaya mukhyeshu kosheshvanyatra chaivahi antastishthanyamayati tenantaryamitam vajed. Vijnanamaya mukhyeshu kosheshu अन्यत्र च अंतस्तिष्ठन्यमयति तेन antaryamitam vrajet. So who is antaryami? We saw in the earlier chapter also, dehad abhyantara prana, prana abhyantaram manah, tatah karta, tato bhokta, guhasayam parampara. This krama or the sequence was given. So dehad abhyantaram prana, abhyantara prana. That prana is something that is interior within the body, the annamaya. Tatah antaram manaha. With reference to prana, the mind is interior, subtler, controller. Tatah karta, even compared to the mind, the karta and the buddhi is interior. Tato bhokta, even compared to the buddhi or the karta, that is what we call the bhokta. Because it is bhokta, the enjoyer, who dictates in fact what the karta should do. So enjoyer wants happiness, and that is how he directs the buddhi or the doer in order to perform various actions, to gain various knowledges, perform various actions. Buddhi in turn directs the mind to tell the senses to do something. The senses in turn perform various actions. And this is how the ultimate motivation or the ultimate direction comes from that bhokta or anandamaya. Therefore he is supposed to be the innermost. And he is also supposed to be antaryami. Not only is within, but then remaining within, he controls. Because his desires are those which are satisfied by the rest of the koshas. So that is it. Vijnanamaya mukhyeshu. All these koshas beginning from Vijnanamaya. So Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Anandamaya, all these koshas, in which Vijnanamaya is mukhya, or the principal one, or the first one. Kosheshu, this Anandamaya, the bhokta, is said to be within all the koshas up to including the Vijnanamaya. And he is the one who remains within them all and controls them all. And therefore he is antaryami. Anyatra chaivahi. Not only is antaryami the indwelling self or the inner controller of this living being, but he is in the inner controller of all the insentient things also. Says anyatra means what? Anyatra prasidyado tishtan yamayati yataha teneti anvayaha. So yaha prasidyam tishtan prasivyaha antaraha yam prasivi naveda yasya prasivi shariram yas prasivim antaro yamayati eshakaya atma antaryami amritaha. So we read this earlier. This is a whole section called Antaryami Brahmanam in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And there one by one different aspects are taken. Prithvi, Apaha, Agni, Vayuhu, Akasaha. Each one is taken one by one. First starts with Prithvi. Yaha Prithivyam Tishthan. One who remains within the Prithvi, meaning in the earth. Prithivyaha Antaraha. One who is within the Prithvi. Yam Prithvi Naveda. Whom the Prithvi does not know. Yasya Prithvi Shariram. For whom the Prithvi is the very body of the Upadi. Yes Prithvim Antaraha Yamayati. Who remaining within the Prithvi controls the Prithvi. The one who imparts the Prithvitvam to Prithvi. The one on account of whom the Prithvi is Prithvi. Or Prithvi follows its own dharma. Prithvi never transgresses the dharma of the Prithvi. And that means that there must be somebody within who controls. So Vishasmad Vatah Pavade. By the fear of whom the wind blows, the sun rises, the fire burns, the Indra, the death, all of them perform their actions. That shows that there is someone who controls them all. And similarly, all the elements in the creation, all of them follow their dharma, their characteristic. They never transgress their dharma. The sun always rotates once a year. Prithvi always, follows its own dharma. It supports, it gives rise to food, it nourishes and whatever. And so, there must be someone who makes the Prithvi do what it does. That shows that there is an antaryami or an inner controller. So, yaha Prithvim antaraha yamayati. One who remaining within the Prithvi controls. Well, he is Yeshate Atma. He is not in there, he is yourself, Antaryami Amrita. He is immortal self, who is indwelling self, yourself. Now, having taken this Prithvi, similarly also all sorts of other elements are taken at the what we call Adhibhautika level and then Adhyatmika level also. Apah, Agni, Antariksham, Vayuhu, Dyauhu, Adityah, Dishah, Chandratarakam, Akashah, all of them. Tamaha, Tejah, all of this is Adhidevatam. Then Adhibhautikam and Adhyatmikam. All these different elements that are found at the cosmic level, at the elemental level, at the individual level. Each one of them is specifically mentioned by the Shruti, and Shruti says that the Atma is the Antaryami, or the one who remains within and controls. So he is Antaryami. So that's what he said here. Anyatra chaivahi. And elsewhere also meaning, Anyatra means Prasidhyadav Tishtam, Tishtan Yamayati. One who remaining within Prithvi, etc. and he controls. Tena Antaryamitam Vraja. Therefore, so this Anandamaya, who also remains within the Vijnanamaya Kosha and controls the Vijnanamaya and the rest of the faculties here, the same, his Atma, same Anandamaya also remains in Prithvi and all other elements and controls them all. And therefore, the same Anandamaya is called Antaryami. Says Asmin Arthe Antaryami Brahmanam Krishnam Pramanam iti darshayitum Tadekadesha bhutam yo vijnani tishtan ityadi vakyam arthatah anukramate. Well, again, yo vijnani tishtan, that talks about the Adhyatmika level. There also is a statement from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Asmin arthe antaryami brahmanam krishnam pramanam. Asmin arthe meaning, in conveying this particular meaning, that this Anandamaya is in fact Antaryami. Krishnam Antaryami Brahmanam Pramanam, that whole Antaryami Brahman in the section which describes Antaryamitvam of Atma. That is Pramanam, that is the valid source of knowledge. Iti darshayitum, to show that ekadesha bhutam yo vijnani tishtan ityadi vakyam arthatah anukramati. One vakya from that Antaryami Brahman is taken here, arthatah, and that the meaning of that vakya or meaning of that statement is given here in the verse 164 to indicate that not only this particular statement but all the statements found in the Antaryami Brahmanam are Pramanam, and thus the Atma or Anandamaya is proven to be Antaryami. So one vakya is shown in the verse 164, Arthatah, natu Shabdatah Arthatah. The meaning is conveyed here. Buddhau tishtannantarosyaha dhiyanikshascha dhivapuh dhiyamantaryamayate ityevam vedena ghoshitam. Buddhau tishtan antarah asyaha. Buddhau tishtan, the one who remains within the buddhi or the intellect. Asyaha antarah, one who is within the buddhi. Dhiya anikshascha, one whom the buddhi does not know. So same as you said, yaha prasidyam tishtan. Similarly, yaha dhyam or buddhau tishtan. Prasivyaha antarah, meaning Dhiyaha Antaraha. Yam Prithvi Naveda, Yam Dhihi Naveda, Yasya Prithvi Shariram, Yasya Dhihi Shariram, Yah Prithivim Antaro Yamayati, Yaha Dhyam Antaraha Yamayati, Eshataya Atma Antaryami Amritaha. So, one illustration is given here, one who remains within the buddhi, whom the buddhi does not know, one who is within the buddhi, dhiya anikshaha. Anikshaha, iks means to see, anikshaha, one who is unseen, dhiya by the buddhi, so one whom the buddhi does not know, for whom the buddhi is the shariram or the upadi, then dhivapuhu, dhivapuhu is what? Yasya dhihi shariram. One for whom this dhi is the shariram, meaning the body or the upadi. Dhyam antar yamayati. Yaha dhyam antaraha yamayati. One who remaining within the buddhi, yamayati controls the buddhi. Iti evam vedena ghoshitam. This is what is declared by the Vedas. And so this is what the Vedas declare, that he is within the buddhi and therefore is antaryami with reference to buddhi. And what applies to buddhi? In that manner it applies to all the rest of the principles. That's what he said next. Idanim antaryami brahmanasya प्रतिपर्याय व्याख्याने ग्रंथ बाहुल्य भयात् व्याख्यानस्य सर्वपर्याय संचारित्व सिद्धे यः सर्वेषु भूतेषु इति पर्यायं व्याचक्षाणः यः सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन् इति अस्य अर्थं दृष्टान्तेन आह. इदानीम् अंतर्यामी ब्राह्मणस्य प्रतिपर्याय व्याख्याने ग्रंथ बाहुल्य भयात्. The author here gave illustration with reference to buddhi. One of the things mentioned in that Antaryami Brahmanam. Antaryami Brahmanam mentions a number of dozens of things. And if this Paṃcadaśī has to take each one of those examples in the Antaryami Brahmanam and write here how Atma is Antaryami, Grantha Bahulya Bhayat, it will be a long Grantha, meaning so many verses will be required. So, Vyakhyanasya Sarvaparyaya Sancharitva Siddhe. However, ultimately, Antaryami Brahmana also says, yes, sarveshu bhuteshu tishthan, sarvedbhya bhutebhya antaraha, yam sarvani bhutani naviduhu, yasya sarvani bhutani shariram, yas sarvani bhutani antaraha yamayati, eshate atma. So when sarva is employed, everything is covered. So sarva paryaya sancharitva siddhe, in order to show that what is said applies to all the paryaya, all those cases. Yes, sarveshu bhuteshu iti paryayam vyachakshanaha, that particular case where Shruti says, yaha sarveshu bhuteshu tishthan, one who remains within all the beings. Iti asyartham drishtantinaha. That particular statement is explained with an illustration. In the verse 165. तंतुः पटे स्थितो यद्वद उपादानतया तथा सर्वोपादानरूपत्वात् सर्वत्रायमवस्थितः. That illustration is given here. Tantuhu pate sthitah yadvad upadanataya. Yadvad tantuhu upadanataya pate sthitah. Yadvad just as tantuhu meaning the thread. Pate upadanataya sthitah. Just as the thread of the cotton is present or obtained in the cloth as upadanam or as material cause. And therefore it pervades the cloth entirely. The material cause is that which pervades the effect totally. And therefore in the cloth there is not a place where tantu is not. So just as tantu pervades the cloth entirely, being its upadanam or material cause, tatha in the same manner, sarvopadana rupatvad. Similarly also is anandamaya, being the sarvopadana, being the material cause of everything. Sarvatra ayam avasthitah. Ayam means antaryami or anandamaya. This Anandamaya or Prajna, who is Antaryami, Sarvatra Avastitaha. He obtains everywhere because he is the material cause of everything. And thus material cause can be said to be Antaryami or the inner controller of the effect. The cause always is the inner controller of the effect. Because effect can never transgress the cause. Effect can never run away from the cause. And effect can never exhibit qualities which are not to be found in the cause. Effect always is controlled by the cause. And that way you can say that effect is the antaryami, meaning the inner controller with reference to cause. So cause is inner also and controller also. And inasmuch as this Anandamaya is the upadana or the material cause of everything, therefore it is the inner controller of everything. And so, yes, sarveshu bhuteshu tishtan, sarvebhyah bhutebhyah antarah. One who remaining within all the beings is the innermost with reference to all the beings. Yam sarvani bhutani na viduhu, whom the beings do not know. Yasya sarvani bhutani shariram, for whom all the beings they happen to be the body. Yes, sarvani bhutani antarha yamayati, one who remaining within all the beings, antarha yamayati, who controls. Eshate atma antaryami amritaha, he is yourself, he is antaryami, the indwelling self, immortal. So, antaryamitvam also is shown here in these verses here. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.